Hello and welcome back, and welcome to part 2 of this safeguarding training, how to develop and review a safeguarding policy. In part 1 we covered the basics of safeguarding, what it is, and your responsibilities. In this session we'll take the next step and look at how a small organisation can create a simple, effective safeguarding policy and reporting procedure. By the end of this video, you will know the essential features of a safeguarding policy, how to create a reporting procedure, what else needs to be included, and what you need to do to keep it up to date. So what is a safeguarding policy? It is simply a written statement that explains how your organisation keeps people safe, what people should do if there is a concern, and who is responsible for taking action. Think of it as your guidebook for preventing harm and responding when something isn't right. You don't need 20 pages of legal text. It should be accessible, free of jargon, and easy to understand. For small groups, 2 to 4 pages may well be enough, as long as it is clear, accurate, and used in practice. So the essential parts of a safeguarding policy include a statement of purpose and commitment, a short statement saying that your organisation is committed to safeguarding children and adults from harm. It should include definitions of abuse and neglect. This doesn't need to be long, just a few clear sentences explaining the different types of abuse. The key thing is that everyone in your organisation understands what those terms mean, so that if they see or hear something worrying, they can recognise it and take action. Your policy should say who the policy applies to, which would always be staff, volunteers and trustees, but depending on your organisation could include people like contractors, sessional workers, consultants, and so on. It should state how concerns will be recognised and reported, a simple description of what a safeguarding concern is and how to report it. If you work with vulnerable groups, this should contain a section on signs of abuse relevant to that group. And we'll talk more about reporting procedures later in this video. It should define roles and responsibilities, including the name of your designated safeguarding lead, and it should contain your reporting procedure. The designated safeguarding lead, or DSL role, there needs to be at least one named person to act as your DSL. They don't need to be an expert, but they need to be someone who will receive and record safeguarding concerns, someone who will contact social care or the police if necessary, someone who will keep secure records, and someone who will make sure that policies are reviewed. They can be a volunteer, a trustee, or a paid member of staff. They do not investigate or make judgments. They pass concerns on to the right people. A simple example of a reporting procedure would be, firstly, a concern is noticed or received. You may see something worrying, or someone may tell you about harm or another person may raise a concern. A written record should be made as soon as possible, recording what happened, when, where, who was involved. Use the person's own words if you can, and include your name, the date, and sign it. It should be kept confidential, but not secret, and we'll discuss a bit more about that in the next slide. But it should be reported to the DSL within 24 hours. If they're not available, contact their deputy or the chair or trustee responsible for safeguarding. And the safeguarding lead decides the next steps, which may be to contact the police, it may be to contact another agency, such as the multi-agency safeguarding hub, and then the DSL will follow it up and record the outcome, keeping a confidential record of the concern, any action taken, and any advice received. The difference between confidentiality and secrecy is an important one, and as part of your reporting procedure, it's important to explain that safeguarding information is confidential, but it's not secret. It should only be shared with those who need to know, such as the DSL or authorities. It should not be discussed with anybody else, either within or outside of the organisation. But never promise absolute confidentiality to somebody making a disclosure. In terms of record keeping, it's important to write down your concerns as soon as possible, ideally on the same day. Use factual language, no opinions, no guessing motives. The record should be stored securely, either in a password protected file, if an electronic file, or in a locked drawer. And records should be kept for at least 6 years or longer if it involves a child, generally until the child's 25th birthday, even if the child is no longer in contact with your organisation. Policies should be reviewed at least once a year or sooner if something changes, such as an incident in your organisation, a change in the law, or if your organisation grows or starts to work with a different group of people. A simple review could include questions such as, does it still reflect what we do as an organisation? Are all the contact details still up to date? Is the DSL still the same person? Have volunteers read and understood it? And have there been any incidents or learning points? Your policy only works if people know about it, and therefore it's really important to make the policy real. To do this, try to share it with every volunteer, even if they only help occasionally. Include safeguarding in inductions and team meetings. Display key contacts on a notice board or in a shared folder. And remind people that asking for advice is always encouraged. So to summarise, every organisation, no matter how small, needs a safeguarding policy. It should be kept simple, clear and practical. A DSL should be appointed. The policy should be reviewed once a year and after any incident. And safeguarding is a culture not just a document and not just a series of tick boxes. So thank you for watching. You can now use the template Safeguarding Policy Pack, which includes a simple policy template, an example reporting procedure with reporting flowchart, a DSL role description, and a quick self-assessment checklist for grant applicants. Thank you very much for watching.